Hi everybody, it's Rob here from Plymouth Music Zone. Hope you're well, hope you're having a lovely week. I'm going to talk about hearing again, and the focus this time is going to be on how I did the damage to my hearing. And I hope by talking about it, perhaps maybe some of you might be able to avoid getting hearing damage where you might have got it otherwise, or maybe it'll just be hopefully interesting to hear anyway. But yeah, the damage, I think I should sort of explain where it's at. I have what's classed as mild damage. So I feel fortunate that it's not worse than that, although mild is enough to have a big impact. So there is that. How I got the damage, there's a lot to discuss here, but I thought I would focus particularly on duration of loud sound exposure. So when I was in school, I was in a rock band that we made among our peers. So we had a kit drummer, guitarist who played with amps and distortion, very loud. I played bass with an amp, quite loud, very loud. And we had a singer singing through a PA that was loud. It was all loud. But the reason I want to talk about this particular aspect of how I damaged my hearing was that I've learnt about how damaging it is to have a loud sound for a long time. So in this little school band, we met at break times. And in a break time, once you got your gear together between lessons, you could play for 5 or 10 minutes max, really. And it's likely that even though we were playing quite loud, that this probably didn't damage my hearing a great deal. So it's not like advisable to do still, because it was too loud. It's not advisable to play as loud as we were. But the short time was probably stopping too much damage happening. Whereas we would also play for long durations, so we'd have sort of like after school practices where we'd play for an hour or longer, or weekends in a different venue, whatever, but there was times where there was a longer exposure to that loud sound, and more than likely that was where the damage was coming in. And so I guess like the advice would be, if you find yourself in a loud situation, to limit the amount of time that you're in that, or try and get away from that sound being continuous for such a long time. So part of the problem I think with hearing problems is that they are tricky to pick up on the fact that it's happening. So when I was getting out one of those long band rehearsals, I could tell the world sounded different. So you probably recognise that sensation yourself. Like if you come out of a loud pub or gig or whatever it might be, you notice that you've adapted to that loud sound, so everything outside is kind of muted. And then your hearing reverts back to normal over maybe minutes, maybe longer, maybe hours. And then it feels like it's back to normal, except you can't really tell whether it truly is normal or not. One thing that these hearing aids that I now have made abundantly clear is just like when you take them out, the difference between the hearing being artificially brought back to where it might have been versus what it's like when that's not there. Like, it's stark. At the end of the day, taking these things out, it feels like putting an earplug in. Like, you just lose that much, and you lose it in such a clear way that it's really really tangible and sort of clear cut. Whereas your hearing recovering after being exposed to loud sound, you don't know what you've lost, essentially. So this definitely happened to me, where I must have been damaging the hearing repeatedly over sort of many occasions, and then the hearing would sort of recover the next day and feel normal, but in fact not be normal. And our brain does this; it adapts to what we can hear. That becomes normal. There's no way of like objectively remembering what the hearing was like the day before yesterday. Your brain just adapts to it, and that becomes normal. So I'd say that that's one aspect of what I did to my ears was long durations of loud sound, which I wish I'd have avoided, really. I will continue this series on hearing next time and cover a few different bits and pieces about other ways that I damage my hearing, because the sort of long durations of loud sound is one aspect, but there was more to it, I think. Yeah. That's it for this video. I will see you next time. Take care. Have a lovely week. Bye.